Hey everybody, Max Monster here, back with another video game this time. It's Final Fantasy XIV Reborn. It's been pretty cool so far. I got into level 26 and level 15. And first impressions, I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than I enjoyed the Final Fantasy XIV when it first launched. It obviously didn't make it too well. They've done a good mix of, American style or European style RPGs with Japanese, Oriental style of Japanese. They really responded well to a lot of the community, which said, hey, we really need you to adopt some of the new ideas out there to make this game work. And they did. So I'm doing this as a beginner's guide, just to tell you what I've learned, what you're going to want to know. And that's the first thing is you're going to want to decide what your end job is going to be. And what do I mean by jobs? Jobs are basically classes. I don't know why the Japanese felt they had to change it, but they're calling it jobs. It's probably something to do with the genre that it's in. It's classes. Basically, you have a starting class, you have a secondary class, and then you're going to have what's going to be like a professional class, or basically the end game goal that you're going to go, which is a superior class at higher levels. Almost all those types of professional classes or jobs require you to be level 30 in a primary job or class and 15 in a secondary job or class. And then you can take on this tertiary job and go from there. And that's really where you're going to start developing. I haven't hit 30 yet, so I haven't actually done the migration over to my final job. And I'm going for Dragoon because I'm a Lancer. There's several different job types out there and several different final job types. There's definitely some good web pages out there that will tell you what jobs are, what they're going to lead to, and you're going to want to use that as a guide. So basically what I did was I chose Dragoon as where I want to go, and you have to be level 30 Lancer, level 15 Marauder. So I leveled to 15 as a Lancer, and then I went over and I leveled to 15 as a Marauder, and now I'm leveling to 30 as a Lancer. However, ideally what you'll probably want to do is find out which job it is that you're going to start with. That's going to be your primary job that you have to get to level 30. You're going to want to stay with that probably to level 30 and then do the secondary job because it will just fly so much faster. You gain bonus XP for the difference in job levels on your secondary job to your primary job. So if you're level 30 in your primary job and level 1 in your secondary job, you'll gain like 1,000% more XP as you level, and you'll keep that bonus all the way up to level 15. It'll be so much easier. When you do take your first job, you get a lot of storyline quests. Always go with the storyline quests. But as the storyline quests take you around the starting area of where your job is, there's 3 different starting areas, and all different jobs start in different areas. Obviously, some will crisscross because there's only 3 starting areas and there's 8 starting jobs that I know of. And what storyline quests are actually quests that are meant to guide you on where to go and what to do and how to level and how to gain equipment, how to gain access to dungeons, how to gain access to higher level areas. So the storyline quests are very important to follow. And a lot of people aren't clicking and reading these storyline quests, and they're kind of missing some stuff that's going on, which is alright if you're willing to, figure it out when it happens. However, I was one of those people that was kind of pushing the story a little bit too fast, and I didn't really read up. and it kind of stalemated at level 15. So at level 20, I was running out of areas to go and quests to get. It's really dependent on that storyline, so you're going to want to keep that storyline going as much as possible. And ideally what you're going to do is, as you go to these new areas, you take all the sub-quests that are out there, which are just basically open quests that everybody can do, and you do all the storyline quests that are out there too, and you keep going from point to point doing this, and you'll level very quickly. Let me just bring up this, and let me go to this, yes. So, you have things called level quests, and basically I kind of take them as level quests, and basically you can do these for bonus XP, bonus rewards. You'll gain money, items, XP, access to locations. They're very good, and these are giving out in general at locations. They also have things called guild hests, which is kind of like a strange take on names, because there are guilds in Final Fantasy, not necessarily player guilds, but organizations within the NPCs themselves which act like a guild. And they put out quests where you work on them on their behest because they're asking you. So it's kind of like a strange take on English from Japanese. But that's basically what it is. It's in-game NPC guild requesting services rendered, which basically are jobs. They're just jobs that you get, tasks that you perform, you get rewarded for them. And the storyline does explain all this. So, you know, don't be so quick to click through the storyline and the tips. A lot of strange wording for everything. It just takes a little bit to get used to. The game kind of works more like EverQuest 1. And how that happens is, let me bring up my character. We have stats. And if you look, the stats really aren't that high for someone who's level 26. So 1 point in a stat is a lot. 1 point of damage is a lot. 1 point of armor is a lot. So it really works on a smaller scale, which is nice. It's easier to keep track of. However, you know, a lot of people aren't going to understand that getting that one item that has this +1 to another skill is massive for them. It's a huge upgrade. And so getting something with 2 points in it is even bigger. And that just keeps going on. If you look on my gear, I have some green items. I've got these from dungeons. I have some pink items. These are better than green. So these are what you're looking for when you're doing dungeons, or pink items. They're basically like orange or red, I guess. But, you know, they had to be a little different, and they went with pink. And so they have more stats, more damage. It's 1 point of strength is a lot of extra damage. It's noticeable extra damage. You're going to want to, you know, keep the pole arm that has 1 less physical damage rating, but +1 strength does more damage. So you got to keep that in mind. My gear right now has a lot of +2s, +1s. That's what this green armor comes in awesome. Like this headpiece is just, the headpiece I had 3 stats at +2. This is 5 stats at +2 and 1 stat at +3. This is like an epic item. This is massive. It's disgusting how good this really is. And it pays out, you know, triple-fold these stats. And they're really what you're looking for. Like this neck piece, the other item I had was strength and dex +1. So now you have +1 accuracy, crit rate, and skill speed. All these are important. As you're leveling, you will get quest rewards that will keep you in gear. And you'll start to actually get gear beyond your level. If you do all the quests in the starting area before you even leave the starting area city, you should be level 3 or 4 before you even hit combat. and that'll make combat so much easier. You still get really good XP for the quests you're doing. Killing for XP isn't as efficient as killing to complete quests, lava quests, and guild hests to get XP. And there's actually even another quest line which is called hunting logs. And like this one, when I complete the hunting log, I get a bonus of 20,000 XP, and each part of the hunting log is going to give me 6,300 XP, and it's going to give me bonus currency with my guild with seals. These are basically like tokens. You turn them into your guild, you get benefits. This is how you get a mount. So they're huge, which is another reason why it's kind of important to take that character at first to level 30 before you worry about secondary characters, because you get a lot of advantages as you level up through that job, and then you get a lot of advantages to take your secondary job. It'll just fly. You'll cruise right through it. It'll be like no time at all, and then you'll be on your final professional job, and you'll be able to continue that way, and you'll have some strong advantages from that point on. So we discussed stats. As you can see, there's a lot of secondary stats, defensive properties, offensive properties they call it. They're basically stats. The gear you get, if it's giving you +1 stat, even if it's not +1 to another stat, just use it, because it's going to crisscross that way and keep you not at a flat pace, but it will keep you definitely going up, and you won't really hurt yourself by putting those items on. Later on, you might want to focus on specific stats, and you can do that. Once you hit level 10, you start getting bonus stats that you get to spend in. Some levels you get +3. On those levels, I do 2 to my primary stat and 1 to vitality, just so I have a little extra hit points. I do off tank, so I will put a point there every now and then. You know, if you're a caster class, you're probably going to want to stick with intellect and mind, or piety, depending on your class and character class. And while you're doing these quests, they'll tell you where your primary stats are, what they do. You just hover over it. Like, it doesn't tell me because it doesn't do anything. This affects healing magic. This affects maximum MP. This affects magic potency, how hard it hits. So, you know, they go through it and explain the stats to you very well. And so you can definitely make informed decisions on how to build those stats. One thing I did learn that as I was leveling, let me bring up this armory. This armory is a system for holding gear based on its slot. Like right now I have 11 weapons in this slot, and there's a total of what, 25 slots. So you can hold a ton of weapons and everything in there. As you're leveling your first job, save everything. Don't sell it, don't break it down, don't do nothing. Just save it. Because when you do your secondary job, it could be a cross-class job where you use the same kind of gear and have the same kind of stats as an important factor. However, it's the story mode that's usually giving you these quest rewards. And when you do your secondary job, you will not have the benefit of getting gear as you go. So you're going to have to, you'll end up buying, like for when I did my Marauder, I had to buy an axe just because it was a better axe so I could do some more damage. They weren't giving me it as a reward. So you'll have that to worry about. In some classes, the weapons and everything can cross. Well, maybe the offhands. I don't think the weapons cross. Effectively, to change classes, all you do is equip a weapon of that class, and you now take on the role of that class as long as you have the class. You get classes or jobs from guild representatives that will let you join. You can take every single job there is out there with one character. You can do it all. And then each job has cross-class skills, which brings up our next interesting point. So just remember, any gear you get, chests, hands, gloves, earrings, neck pieces, save it for your next job, even though it's low level, unless you're really running out of space. I mean, it takes a long time to run out of this space. You've got hundreds and hundreds of slots. Save it for yourself. You can always sell it for gil later. Gil is basically gold pieces. As you can see right now, I got 27,000. The only thing I spend gil on is teleporting, and it costs anywhere from 1 to 400 gold to teleport. So it's not really a priority. Don't worry about selling stuff. Worry about what you're going to be doing next. And so going to skills, I'm going to bring up the actions here. You have some general actions. Auto attack is a general action, although if you just hit a skill button, it will start and initiate the auto attack for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Sprint is going to be very handy until you get yourself your mount, your Chocobo. Chocobo is a little chicken type thing, which is basically Final Fantasy's horses. Teleports and returns. Return is a teleport that takes you to your bound location. Teleport takes you to these spots. If you can see, I'm standing in front of this blue thing. It's got the name Aetherite right in front of it. You attune yourself to these Aetherites just by right-clicking it, and then you can teleport from Aetherite location to Aetherite location for gil. So you can spend money to go to places. It's really handy. Another handy feature is you can set 3 primary locations as your favorite locations, and you get a discount for teleporting to them. I would recommend each major city as a favorite location, and as you're questing, you can bind yourself to that location and just return while you're out questing back to the quest hub and go about it that way. Return is free. Teleport does cost money. You will be going back and forth between the major cities. Your class quest will take you to there. Follow the class quest. Your class quest will tell you to do certain guild tests. Do them. You get a big bonus for doing them the first time of XP. Take advantage of those. They'll give you levy quests to do, and it won't say that you have to do them. But when you go into guild hubs and you have levy quests available, do them. I'm going to go over that in a second. As you can see, there's an action button here. This is all my actions, everything I can do at my level. So I can just drag these down to my hotbars, assign them to the hotbars. I can click on them. I can hit the number corresponding to them. They're actions. This additional tab, if I click on it, and then see how it's got these 2 double axes, when I put my mouse over it, it says Marauder. Because I'm level 15 in Marauder, I have a choice of these 4 skills as extra skills to be able to use with my current Lancer class. So these are cross-class skills that you get for being a Marauder and a Lancer, or a Marauder and a Conjurer. You can get all these skills on any other class. However, you could have every other class out there to like level 30, say. You could still only have a total of 5 different skills, but you could go from Archer, 1 in Archer, 1 in Thaumaturge, 1 in Gladiator, 1 for Miner, and put them all in there. And then you'd be able to use that combination. Very interesting. Not very important in the beginning. I think it's actually more important to level to 30. At 20, you get access to a mount, which makes traveling going around all that much better. You'll get access to what they call a free company, which is basically like a NPC guild yet again. It's kind of like a faction. It's basically assigning yourself to either Gridania, Odar, or Limnitsa. Very strange names, I know. But they're the major starting continents. And you basically assign yourself to them, and then you start getting these quests, which gives you those serpent seals. This is for Gridania. So you exchange those serpent seals for better gear, access to different things. These are very handy. You're going to want these. So going back to the quests, oh, come on, close down. Bring up the journal. You see there's allowances, leva quests. you can only do so many level quests at once, and you can only take so many a day, or so many every so often. It's broken down by time. You basically gain 3, I think, every 6 or 12 hours. I don't know if it maximizes or not. So you want to use them, take advantage of them, but don't blow them out at once, because you might come across some other ones later that are more money. But you at least do them the first time. The first time they really reward good rewards. Same with guild heists. You do them once, you get a great reward. You don't necessarily have to do them again. However, guild heists go in with the looking for group function. And the looking for group function they call the duty finder. So you can see it lists guild heists. You can join any of them. But like I said, the first time you do one, you get a bonus. So it's always worth doing one at least once. The dungeons, same thing. The first time you do them, you get a bonus. After that, you get decent XP. They're really worth a lot, but you get some really good gear. If you're focused on leveling, doing them at least the first time is very important. And maybe just signing up to have them come through to break up some of the monotony of doing some quests would help. Casters are going to get in immediately. Not casters, healers, I should say. You're going to get in immediately. Second most in demand will be tank. And DPS, you're in for long waits, just like World of Warcraft and every other game out there. So you can keep that in mind. You're not really limited to these. But these in the Hunter logs are one-time big bonus, and then they keep moving on. So you can see is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5. Definitely worth doing them. Once you join that free company, you get seals as rewards also with these, and dungeons, and level quests, and fates. Fates, let's see if there's anything on the map. See this big pink area here with the blue around it? That's a fate. You go to that fate, you have to kill certain mobs or do certain tasks, guide certain merchants along the road and protect them, and you finish them and you'll get experience, a lot of it. You get very little money, and then if you belong to a free company, you'll get seals for the free company. So it's very important to get to that point where you're in a free company, because like I said, that also gets you the mount. On the map you see these little exclamation points. Those are quests. So you can pick those quests up, do them, you'll get rewards. It's very nice. They start to open up as your story expands. So you want to push the story again. Always push your story. Your story quests are the ones that look like fireballs around the icon. Regular quests just got like a little bit of an egg, an upside down egg around them. So important to do all the quests you can, because they're big boosts of XP and access to gear and some good rewards. Other than that, all I can say is click on every aetherite you find. There's mini aetherites in the starting cities, so you can teleport around the starting zones. Click those as well. And that's all I can really give you for now. It's just a base guide of what to do, what not to do, which is basically not to sell your gear, save it, and read the storyline, read the things that pop up as tips. They're really big cues in what to do. Do your guild heists, do your level quests when they come up, get used to how those function. They become a major source of XP later on, and a major source of currencies later on. So that's it. I hope this helps you guys out. I'll probably be looking to do more on this when I gain access to higher levels, and as I gain that information. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later.